Hello, I'm Samantha Flowers, the coordinator for the Vol-Supported Ag Program, a campus community-supported ag program and organic farm internship at the University of Tennessee. Today, I'm going to do a walkthrough of how we clean and sanitize our packing facility after a harvest day on the VSA farm, which is located at the East Tennessee Ag Research and Education Center Organic Crops Unit. We are a smaller operation with about 60 members and a 5-person farm crew, 4 of whom are students. The tips included in this video may be useful on your small farm, whether you have a devoted packing house facility or another type of setup on your property, farm, or residence. The first step to ensure a good clean is to remove all the items from your packing house that can be removed, such as racks, tables, packing supplies, dirty harvest bins, and any produce discards. Doing this will make it much easier to clean the floors, windows, and tabletops. Next, you will want to remove the dirt and debris from tabletops and other flat surfaces with a brush or rag, then clean by scrubbing with soap and water and rinsing with water as well. You cannot sanitize a dirty surface, so the first step when sanitizing is actually to clean using this method. We will clean all surfaces and tabletops, including workstations, doorknobs, and sinks. We also do this cleaning method on our floors as well by first sweeping or vacuuming away the dirt and debris from floors, corners, and windows, then scrubbing with a scrub brush and rinsing with water. If you have a drain like we do, it is very important to ensure that that gets cleaned regularly as well. Drains can harbor lots of debris, dirt, and bacteria, which can be a food safety risk. A good time to clean and flush the drain is while you are already cleaning your floors. All harvesting tools such as bins, knives, and clippers will also need to be scrubbed and rinsed after use and before sanitizing. After you have cleaned your packing house surfaces and floors, it is best to wash your hands before moving on to the next task. In our case, that is sanitizing. Cleanup is dirty work, so we are washing our hands first. Proper hand washing includes turning on the faucet and lathering up your hands and wrists with soap for at least 20 seconds. Make sure to get all the nooks and crannies of your fingers, in between them and under the nails as well. After scrubbing, rinse well with water from the faucet and use a single-use paper towel to dry them thoroughly. Use the same paper towel to turn off the faucet and then dispose of the towel in the nearest trash can. Now you are ready to move on to sanitizing. But first, it may be necessary to put on PPE depending on the sanitizing product and procedure determined by your farm. In our case, the sanitizer formula can cause damage to clothing and skin irritation, so it is important that we wear chemical-resistant gloves and a PVC apron when mixing the sanitizer, or when using it in a dunk tank solution at the rate suggested by the label for food contact surfaces. Once we have donned the proper PPE, we can make our dunk tank and spray bottles. When mixing your sanitizing solution, it is imperative to follow the product label. The label is the law, and the rates and method of use will vary by the product. For us, we can make a solution appropriate for food contact surfaces by mixing 10 ounces of sanitizer product into 20 gallons of water. We have prepared this ahead of time in a jar for this video. So we can add this product to the water, give it a little stir with our gloved hand, and then it is ready to sanitize all food contact surfaces at our facility. We will use this as a dunk tank for things that can be dunked, such as harvest bins and harvest tools, and we will fill up a few spray bottles with this solution to sanitize the food contact surfaces that we cannot dunk, such as harvest carts, harvest racks, tabletops, and other surfaces. Once our dunk tank has been prepared, we can begin using it to sanitize the harvest bins and other smaller items that have already been cleaned and rinsed. Again, it is important to follow the label to determine the correct method and length of time that your items will need to come in contact with the sanitizer solution. For us, simply dunking the harvest crate or whatever it may be into the solution, allowing it to cover all areas of the item, and then allowing it to air dry is sufficient enough to sanitize these items. If you use harvest cards to harvest in, they can also become a food contact surface, so it will be important that they get cleaned and sanitized regularly between use. Same with tabletops, they are definitely a food contact surface, so they will need to be cleaned and thoroughly sanitized and allowed to air dry in our case. One important note is that the front and side edges of these workstations can become food contact surfaces that are often forgotten about in the cleaning process. It is important to make sure these edges get cleaned as well. After all of your harvest crates and tabletops, harvest cards, racks, and everything else have been cleaned, they can be allowed to air dry if that is what the product recommends, or rinsed, determined by the product label, and then moved back into your packing house. Here we have our organized supplies, all of our clean harvest bins, tabletops, workstations, and floors that are now ready to go for our next harvest. One thing to remember though is if you have standing water, it is very important to remove that as quickly as possible because standing water can become a harbor for bacteria and other risks. So to keep you organized on your cleaning days, you may find a checklist is helpful. We have a checklist that details each of the essential tasks and then has a place for initials of the person who completed that task. We date these and put these on file in case they are ever needed to be referred to in the future. Thank you for watching this video about how we clean our packing facility at the Organic Crops Unit at the University of Tennessee. I hope you found it helpful and maybe picked up a tip or two to use on your own facility.